Before we jump into today's video, let me just ask my people one simple question, okay? Why are you letting white doctors, American westernized doctors, take control and diagnose and speak on behalf of black health? You know this system ain't meant for black people. You know we just got our rights literally less than 60 years ago. Realistically, we don't even have rights till this day. But I say that because you have to understand that we are not who these medical teams are prioritizing at the moment. Let me tell you this right now, okay? But how are you gonna legalize something like gas, for instance, right? You make it legal, you make it a recreational, free to use, legal of age, as long as you use it. But then you diagnose somebody with a mental illness right after they take it. Then you associate mental illness with it. Like, where's the logic in that? I just want to know. This is why I'm asking the question, okay? This government, how are you going to allow such a government that can't even stick to its own morals and its own straight line of thoughts, okay? How are you going to let them take control of your child in a medical issue? It doesn't make sense. It won't work. It just won't work. And until you realize that, you're just gonna keep putting your child is suffering right now, and I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like you straight up tell me, you do a census, right? All of these black leaders who claim to be for the black community, okay? You tell me one person. In all seriousness, tell me one person, one child. You go to any black child right now and tell me, are they living well? You tell me, what are they saying about the present circumstances of their life? I'll tell you what they're saying. They're saying they wish their dad was around. They're saying they wish they had the right medical and educational support and intervention. All of these things which America has promised to provide you. And sadly, you've put yourself in a position where you don't even know how to take care of your own child. He's walking around with, goodness sake, the mental health team has I'm telling you straight up from first-hand experience, they have failed black youth. Yet they still continue to propose their hypothesis as if they know what's going on in the black community. You have no idea. You've never walked in the shoes of a black boy or a black man growing up in 2025. And you're telling me you have the authority to speak on behalf of his health? Are you even black? Do you know what black means? Have you seen what a black person goes through? Because I guarantee you, if you saw it, you wouldn't even be here to testify. You need to be putting your child in the hands of noble leaders, noble black doctors, and I mean proper African doctors who they exist. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, they exist. You just have to be able to do your research, right? You have to find out to the bottom root of our community what problems and what illnesses are pressing our youth. The medical team in North America, listen to me and listen to me straight. You don't need to do facts. You don't need to do research. You don't need to do any of that. You can just literally see it for yourself. The state of black people mentally, whether that's in the educational system, whether that's just in terms of cognitive function, whether that's ability to read, ability to write, to articulate, to actually apply proper mental ethic. You tell me right now, since we're at the bottom as we speak, how are we gonna still keep going along with this path that North America has painted for us as if everything's gonna be okay as long as we put our dollar, our dependence, our time, our consideration into their mental health system. It doesn't work like that. And I'm telling you that with real, genuine life experience. You won't find anybody, any black youth who can testify and say they are living life. We are living with concern. And here, let me tell you something, okay? I'm gonna paint to you a scenario. A black person walks into a store. The security guard follows him. The black youth, the black boy goes home and he says to his parents, I think somebody's following me around the store. I think somebody's been following me. We've known from history, okay, whether that be Trayvon Martin or any case of racial profiling and police brutality, that anytime such an instance is reported to the police or the authorities, there's either jail, handcuffs, or a mental health institution. And the problem with black families is we have indoctrinated everything they ever taught us in America, when we should be indoctrinating what we learned in Africa. If somebody follows you and your child is telling you somebody's following you, your job is to stand up for your child and to protect him, not to throw a mental health label at his face. I don't care what you identify as, that's your child, okay? And the problem is, black people are walking around with all these mental health labels, these misdiagnoses, due to the white America's inability to actually comprehend what on earth is going on. White kids don't have to worry about being followed by security guards. But as a black boy, being concerned about that, you even put an eyelid wrong, that security guard will call the police and the police will cop your behind like nobody has ever seen. So tell me this, like, you eventually understand that. You understand how dangerous it is to be putting your emphasis, your reliance, and unless you do your own education, unless we teach our black people how to read, unless we teach our black people how to write, unless we teach our black people how to resort to proper black resources to solve black problems and not use white resources to solve black problems, we will find ourselves in a better position. Our children will actually be able to fund us. Our children will be able to do phenomenal things for us. Our children will be able to take care of us, right? Right now, our children cannot do a thing, and it's a shame. It's a real shame, because we have already indoctrinated our children. Go to school, okay, I believe in that. Get a degree, okay, I believe in that. But the police, the mental health teams, you really think some white doctor whose biggest struggle in the day is waking up, figuring out what teacup he's gonna get, can understand a black boy's problems about the fear and the concern he has about being followed or being stalked, which you will interpret as a mental illness. You wouldn't be interpreting it as a mental illness if a white person does that, and that brings me to my next example. If a white person does that, we know you'd be on the case of the police. You would call the police and you'd report that black person or the security guard, whoever's been following the white person around. The law is not made for us, and this is my point. There's no equality, right? You cannot present to me this like everything is peach. The only people who would say it's peach are the brainwashed puppets who have been literally contracted by white people to actually solve the problem, or to attempt to talk about the problem, or at least hide the problem. That's the problem we're facing as we speak. You have no clue until you have seen it with your own face. But here's the thing. Because of social media, right? You cannot lie about what I'm saying. The only time you can lie is when you don't provide evidence, alright? So, I'm here to just straight up tell you, you find yourself in that position where you know for a fact that you're going through something, and they go as far as calling you insane. Oh, no, 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 these white people can't harm you. No, 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 not that good white man. Not that good white man who enslaved your ancestors and brutalized your entire race. No, 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 he can't do any harm. Why? Because we said so. Well, let me tell you something. Stop going based off of what people say. Your children are struggling. You have no idea what your children are going through. Half of them are scared to bring it up to you because you don't speak and you don't say a thing and you don't do a thing except for instill fear and let them know that white America still remains supreme. Good job on you for being loyal to your master. And yeah, I said it. So this is the problem we face ourselves with. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. It is like, you can't lie about this stuff right now. I already told you. You can go to any black child right now. Tell him, which area of the world have you suffered in the most and who is the root cause? They will tell you nothing but the truth, being white America and or the white man. So that's the truth about the reality we're facing as we speak. And if you don't learn to get a grip on it, I'm afraid that things are gonna get really bad. I'm speaking to the people who like to deal with the facts, right? Whose families don't sell them out to the system and believe everything they hear just because somebody carries the title doctor. You think a doctor's perfect? Is a doctor God? Doctors go to jail and prison too. Like, seriously? Doctors are the #1 killers of black people. So how are you gonna tell me right now that that's the solution? Now, when I say doctors, I mean American doctors. I know there are very good doctors who do not present themselves as westernized, right? And actually get to the core root of the cause, getting to understand somebody, saying like, okay, if a black child says he's being followed in a supermarket, for instance, that black child is within his right mind and cause, with statistical data and facts, to feel a concern or a threat. He is not schizophrenic. He is not paranoid. He knows throughout history, time in and time out, black men have lost their lives trying to do shopping or trying to actually provide for their families and then when security intervention is involved, like the Trayvon Martin case, things can get quite aggressive. We know that just by design, just by default. You can't tell me otherwise. So, this is the problem we face, right? We don't have the right people representing our communities. And if you don't actually understand that there's a difference between a black person and a brainwashed puppet who goes by everything the white man says, you will hear me out when I tell you once again, how do we not have a community? How? No community, no voice, and no consideration for those people who are struggling. You do a census right now and you tell me realistically, who the heck is telling your child right now everything they know? Do you know what those white kids are doing to your children in school? Do you know what those teachers are doing in school? Do you know what those white girls are doing to black kids in school? Like, do you know? You have no idea, but you feel like you have a say. Okay, since you have a say, I have a say too. My say is that you are a fraud to the black community if you do not listen to the black youth. If you do not listen to them, and your first instinct when a black person tells you that something, they're concerned about their environment. This is why black people don't talk out. And like I said, you put yourself in that position, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. You will really feel the importance of just being a little bit more just understanding, and you will have a heart to relate to the cause, and you will not feel the need to just be so complacent with whatever is going on in your children, with your children. So do me a favor, okay? The next time you see someone in the black community talking about their struggle as a black person, don't go on and call them crazy, okay? Don't label them with a mental illness. Just don't.